What's up, everybody? This is Rhetri from Gamepass Daily. Let's talk about the Asus ROG Ally. Is this the Gamepass handheld beast that we've all been waiting for? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Let's talk about the price point, $599 and $699. Of course, the big difference here is the AMD Ryzen Z1 versus the Z1 Extreme. But what's really nice is that the storage space is the same, which is not what we were being told in some rumors previously. But of course, we have the same 7-inch awesome 1920 by 1080 IPS level touchscreen with 500 nits. 500 nits, in my opinion, is definitely not good enough for playing games out in the sunlight. I have 1000 nits on my phone, and that's just barely good enough in my opinion. So I obviously, I don't know why you would be gaming in the direct sunlight anyways, but we got a refresh rate of 120 hertz. You got the same memory, same storage, same in and out ports, which include audio jack and mobile interface, USB Type-C combo ports, and micro SD card reader, so you can put in SD cards, SDXX, and SDHC cards in there to expand your gaming storage, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, I think this is shaping up to be a pretty nice device. What he's showing right here is the software called Armory Crate SE by Asus, and this pulls all of your games from different launchers into one area for easy access. That way you don't have to find and look for every single game launcher and then launch the game from the launcher, which all PC players know this is a huge pain in the butt, but it's nice to see that there is a fix for that, of course. Key binding, so obviously with that software you can do some key binding, so those back buttons you could use to launch that software if you wanted to. So heavy gaming performance, you get about 2 hours on this device, and I'm hearing that the cool and quiet that we're just showing, I'm hearing that this thing is significantly quieter than the Steam Deck, so that's nice. So you got your back buttons he was just showing, and of course the command center where you can do all kinds of, you can make up your own command center, put your own buttons there that you want, like recording and taking screenshots. You can also, it also has a fingerprint reader that it was just showing on the power button itself. That allows you to open up your own Windows session per user, which is kind of cool. But also performance. So the Z1 versus the Z1 Extreme. From everything I'm being told, I probably would not go with the Z1. I think the Z1 Extreme seems definitely worth the extra money to me, the extra $100 perhaps. So I know, like, The Verge did some testing of the Steam Deck versus this, and it pretty much beat out the Steam Deck performance-wise for frame rate. In games like Cyberpunk, Deus Ex Mankind, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, in every single instance, because you have different performance modes on here. There's performance, there's turbo, then there's turbo when you're connected to power, and then there's silent mode. Silent mode, by the looks of the frame rates, I wouldn't touch the silent mode with a 10-foot pole, but all the other modes seem great, so that will obviously get you more or less battery power depending on what you're doing. Performance mode would obviously be the least amount of battery usage you'll get, which they were just showing is 2 hours, so it's probably really under 2 hours most likely, but who knows. We'll have to see for ourselves when we get these units in. One thing I did hear, and I do trust The Verge, I read their review on it, and that was the fact that the buttons, the A, B, X, Y buttons were sticking. Apparently, they are being, from the angle that you're going at, the unit that they had, it was, the buttons are being pushed below the plastic and sticking underneath the plastic, which means your buttons could literally just stay pressed down. That's a huge problem in my opinion, and anyone's opinion I would expect. So apparently Asus knows about this and they found the problem, and they are saying that the units going out to customers are already fixed and they will not have this issue. But my recommendation personally right now is based on that. alone, I would not pre-order this. I would probably stay away from it until let someone else, you know, be the guinea pig for you, because that's a make it or break it deal right there. If your buttons are sticking, that makes this thing pretty useless. I'm sure it is fixed, but I wouldn't want to spend $700 to find out the unit I got was not fixed. So might want to give it a little bit here and just see what happens. But I do think for Game Pass and just Windows gaming in general, this is a really cool device. I really like the layout of the buttons because it absolutely matches what an Xbox controller is versus like the Steam Deck, which isn't quite the same. Your thumbsticks to the directional pad and your thumbsticks to the A, B, X, Y buttons on the Steam Deck are not quite ergonomically what I would like out of a device. Versus the ROG Ally definitely seems more intuitive to me because I already have that muscle memory. I don't have to think of where to hit the buttons and stuff like that. So my 2 cents is I'd wait, but we are going to talk about this this Sunday actually on Gamers Council, the podcast that I do with Web Dave. We are going to have Kay Asante on there, who's big into handheld gaming, so he's going to help us figure out, is it worth it? I have no doubt he's going to be getting it. But we're also going to be talking to Slow-Mo Backslap, who will also be on our podcast as well, possibly other people. It's going to be an exciting show, and I hope you guys can stop by. We have a lot to talk about when it comes to handheld gaming, and we have very knowledgeable people who are going to be there, and I hope you guys will stop by. This has just been my right off the bat impression. So if you are going to buy this, I recommend getting the more powerful one, because as you can see on the screen right now, it's extremely more powerful than the regular Z1 chip. But on that note, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for subscribing here. It's meant a lot. This community, the Xbox community, there is no other community that's better. I'm sorry. I just have to say thanks for tuning in to Game Pass Daily. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, and join our Discord gaming community, and we'll see you soon.